We actually have a shit we couldn't make up for the White Sox specific this week, and it goes back to our favorite topic in our inaugural episode, episode 1, the 1-2 count intentional walk. And that was a long ass game. The Sox have played a lot of long ass games over the past week, but when NBC Sports Chicago replays a game, they give it a 3-hour window, so they have to fit the game in 3 hours. What they decided to do is conveniently, I'll use the term conveniently, cut out the 6th inning, which was an utter disaster.
Well, that was the inning that the whole world has been talking about ever since, and is continuing to talk about. But the next day, the replay on NBC Sports Chicago did not have that inning conspicuously. There's been different excuses for that. The one I heard, the latest one I heard was that job to condense those games is outsourced to a third party that just blew it somehow. They were essentially, NBC Sports was blaming a contractor for fucking it up and not having that inning.
Bob, you son of a bitch.
Well, I think it's also important to note that Jerry Reinsdorf owns 50% of NBC Sports Chicago. He is a controlling interest, the majority interest.
I don't understand how that comes into play here.
In the entity, so I think we need to keep that in mind.
I don't see why.
So it was just funny. It was brought up on Sports Talk Radio all weekend. It is like somebody hadn't seen the game and they tried to watch it the next day and didn't have any idea what happened. So
to leave that inning out because the score completely changes.
Well, so that's the thing.
You're going to see the end of the 5th inning. And
due to time constraints, we're moving past these 8 runs or whatever were scored in this inning.
It's unbelievable. I mean, whether or not it's outsourced, like you need to send instructions that say like the pivotal point of this game is the 6th inning. Do not remove it.
Yeah. Somebody else mentioned that. It's like, well, don't you send a list of tell them what they should be cutting out? If they just do it, they don't have the editorial control. You tell them what to do and they'll do it. But yeah, that was absurd. But
whatever time you have to cut, make sure the 6th inning is involved, but we didn't tell you that.
That was definitely some shit we couldn't make up.
I saw some comments that like, oh, is it to protect the tender manager? And I'm like, what do you mean? This guy didn't let go the next day.
He's tripled down on this.
Yeah, he's owned it. He thinks we're all idiots for even questioning it. I mean,
you think that's a question?
Is that even a question? Wow. Yes, it is.
The whole world wants to know.
As I pointed out, our box seat manager from last week, I don't think he would have even walked a guy on a 1-2 count. I think he would have still pitched him.
Word Hole Media.